Shita Kamala Kucha Mandala He. Shita Kamala Kucha Mandala He. Jita Kundala He. Jita Kundala He. Kamala Kucha Mandala He, Jita Kundala He, Jita Kundala He. Kalita Lalita Vanamala. Jai Jai Deva Hare. Jai Jai Deva Hare. Jai Jai Deva Hare. Prabhu Jai Jai Deva Hare. Jai Jai Deva Hare. Dinamani Mandala Mandana He Baba Kandana He Baba Kandana He. Manichana Manasahamsa. Jai Jai Deva Hare. Jai Jai Deva Hare. Munijana Manasahamsa. Jai Jai Deva Hare. Jai Jai Deva Hare. Jai Jai Deva Hare. Prabhu Jai Jai Deva Hare. Jai Jai. Jai Jai Deva Hare. Madhumura Naraka Vinasana He. Garudasana He. Garudasana He. I'm sorry. Kaliya Visadara Ganjana He. Janaranjana He. Janaranjana He. Yadukula Nalina Dinesa. Jai Jai Deva Hare. Jai Jai Deva Hare. Jai Jai Deva Hare. Prabhu Jai Jai Deva Hare. Jai Jai Deva Hare. Madhumura Muaraka Vinasana He. Garudasana He. Garudasana He. Surakula Kelinidana Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare Prabhu Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare Amala Kamala Dala Lochana He Babu Mochana He Babu Mochana He Chibuvana Bhuvana Nidana Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare Prabhu Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Jai Jai Deva Hare Janaka Sutta Kita Bhusana He Chita Dusana He Jita Dusana He Samara Samita Dasakanta Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Prabhu Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Jaya Jaya Deva Hare Abhinava Jaladhara Sundara He Jita Mandara He Jita Mandara He Shimukha Chandra Chakora Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare Haribol Jai Jai Deva Hare Prabhu Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare Abhinava Jaladhara Sundara He Jita Mandara He Rita Mandara He. Shimukha Chandra Chakora. Jai Jai Deva Hare, Jai Jai Deva Hare. Jai Jai Deva Hare, Prabhu Jai Jai Deva Hare, Jai Jai Deva Hare. Tava charanam pranata vayam he iti bhavaya he, iti bhavaya he. Kurukusalam pranatesu, Jai Jai Deva Hare, Jai Jai Deva Hare. Shri Jaya Deva Kavir Idam He Kurute Mudam He Kurute Mudam He. Mangalam Ujjvala Geetam, Jai Jai Deva Hare, Jai Jai Deva Hare. Jai Jai Deva Hare, Prabhu Jai Jai Deva Hare, Jai Jai Deva Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Mangala Gitam Ki Jai. This was written by Sri Jayadev Goswami, a very great Vaishnava saint from Orissa. And he says, O Lord, who rests upon the breasts of the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, you are decorated with swinging earrings, and you wear a charming garland of forest flowers, O Lord Jayadev, who defeats all the demigods. O Lord Hari, all glories to you. O Lord, whose ornaments are as splendid as the orb of the sun, you break the cycle of repeated birth and death, and you swim in the peaceful lake of the sages' hearts. O Lord Jayadev, O Lord Hari, all glories unto you. O Lord, who defeated the poisonous Kaliya serpent, you are the delighter of the people, and your brilliantly shining sun. You are the brilliantly shining sun that causes the lotus flower of the Yadu dynasty to bloom. O Jayadev, O Lord Hari, all glories unto you. O killer of the demons Madhu, Mura, and Naraka, who rides upon the back of Garuda, O Lord, who enjoys pastimes among the dynasties of demigods, O Lord Jayadev, O Lord Hari, all glories unto you. O Lord, whose eyes are immaculate lotus petals, O giver of liberation from the cycles of repeated birth and death, O priceless treasure of the three worlds, O Lord Jayadeva, O Lord Hari, all glories unto you. O Lord, who has become the ornament of the daughter of Maharaj Janaka, O Lord, who is victorious over all wicked demons and who defeated the 10-headed Ravana in battle, O Lord Jayadeva, O Lord Hari, all glories unto you. O Lord, as handsome as a fresh rain cloud, lifter of Govardhan hill, O Chakora bird who drinks the moonlight of Radharani's face, O Lord Jayadev, O Lord Hari, all glories unto you. My dear Lord, we are bowing down before your lotus feet. Please think of us in this way, and kindly grant auspiciousness to us who bow down before you. O Lord Jayadev, O Lord Hari, all glories unto you. This song of the poet Jayadeva brings transcendental happiness. It is an auspicious, brilliantly effulgent song. O Lord Jayadev, O Lord Hari, all glories unto you. So we can see what a great poet Jayadev Goswami was and is, because we're still reading his poetry. That means he's one of the greatest poets in the world. Hare Krishna, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So tonight we're going to discuss what is the purpose of the material creation. Why is it here? And this will give us an idea of what our purpose in life should be. We are all born, or we are all, let's say, endowed with limited free will. And we were all originally in the spiritual world with Krishna, because it says, Mamaivam sa jiva loka, jiva bhuta sanatana. That means that we are part and parcel of Krishna. We are an individual, just as Krishna is an individual. We are originally Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. We have a soul that has a form, Vigraha, of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. So eternity is something that we have naturally. And our bliss and knowledge are also eternal, but not to the same extent as Krishna's. Krishna is infinitely great in all respects, and we are infinitely small, but we share the same qualities of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. Just like one drop of the ocean has the same salt percentage in it as the entire ocean does. So if you taste one drop, you'll get an idea of the whole ocean. But of course, one drop is not equal in dense or in size as the whole ocean. So we are like one drop of Krishna's transcendental nature. However, if by some reason or other we develop envy of Krishna in the spiritual world, why should he be the center of attraction? Why can't I be the center of attraction? We fall down to the material world. Now, what is the purpose of the material world? Now, all of us have fallen down. There's no doubt about it. And we've fallen down into an unhealthy atmosphere. This is the atmosphere of the material world, there's always a beginning, there's a middle, and an end. Even though we have an eternal soul, by association with others and being in the material world, we've developed the idea that I'm not a soul, I'm just this body. Well, this body has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Therefore, although we're eternal, we get so confused that we think it's normal to be born, to get old, to get sick, and die. And it's not normal. It's not our real nature. It's not who we actually are. It's all because of developing a false ego that identifies with the body. Ego is there. Ego means I am. So the false ego is I am a product of the material world. This body is me. Whatever family this body was born in, that's my people. That's my family, and there are my people, and my ethnic group, and my national group, and my racial group. So we identify falsely. All these things are false. It has nothing to do with the soul or the soul's relationship to Krishna. But due to bad association, due to the overpowering influence of the three modes of material nature, Satya, Rajas, and Tamas, due to being educated with junk what junk is put in our brains, such as we come from monkeys, and everything started accidentally with a big bang, and there's gender neutrality and this thing and that thing, all nonsense, false concepts, but this passed on to us as if this is knowledge, and therefore we become tied up in a very tight knot of material attachments, and it's virtually impossible to break free. And then the main reason we're in the material world is because we got jealous of Krishna being the center of attraction, and we want to be like Krishna. We want to be the center of attraction and dominate and enjoy the material world, and dominate and enjoy other people. And that dominating and enjoying false concept of life is what keeps us in the material world repeatedly going through birth, death, old age, and disease. And these things are not necessary. It's all unnecessary. But as long as we have these misconceptions in the mind, we remain a prisoner of these false conceptions. So the purpose of material creation is to give us a chance to correct ourselves, or purge ourselves rather, purify ourselves of all this contamination. The biggest contamination of all is sex desire, and the desire to dominate other people and exploit them. And we see this everywhere. We see that very powerful men in this country and in Europe and in Australia, all over the world, try and dominate and exploit other people, either through business or through sex, etc. We see that priests do it. We see that even brahmanas do it sometimes. We see that all kinds of religious people, imams and Buddhist monks, they also do the same thing, because it's the same disease, no matter who you are, no matter what race you're in, no matter what culture you were born in. We have all originally come from Krishna, but we revolted against him. And when we become envious of Krishna, we become envious of ourselves, because we are part and parcel of Krishna. And the symbol of enviousness is we deny ourselves the possibility to get out of this mess. When there's a chance to come and hear Bhagavad Gita, when there's a chance to be educated properly in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna consciousness and Vaishnava philosophy, we deny ourselves the possibility. We rather listen to the news, listen to the stock market, listen to politics, discuss sports, talk about I have a Tesla, or I have this car or that car, or I have this stock option or that stock option. And we completely deny ourselves the opportunity to get out of this mess. But yet, everybody wants to get out. Everybody wants to be eternal. Nobody wants to be controlled by old age, disease, and death. But yet, They don't give themselves a chance to get out. See? So the whole purpose of material creation is it is like a prison in which the prisoners are begged, exhorted, of opportunity to get out if they want to. Therefore Krishna says, Sarvadharmam parityaja, mamekam saranam raja, aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshisyami mahasucha. Arjuna, please, he says, please, actually, he's begging him, just surrender unto me, and I will free you from all your previous karma. And therefore you have nothing to worry about, nothing to fear, and nothing to doubt. And you will come back to me. Simply, instead of chanting Trump, 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 or Warren, or Sanders, or this one or that one, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. It's very simple. He doesn't say you have to get a PhD. He says, simply chant my holy name, offer your food to me, and that food should be vegetarian food, offered with love, prepared and offered with love and devotion. And I promise you, you'll come back to me. It's very simple. It's not complicated. So therefore, the message of Krishna is so, let's say, kind and merciful. He also says that even if you're the worst sinner and have committed the worst sins, you can come back to me also, simply by surrendering unto me. So, do we believe this? Or do we believe we come from monkeys and the goal of life is just to make money and exploit people and material, let's say, or exploit matter? So that is the choice. In other words, as Shakespeare said, to be or not to be, that is the question. But I'm going to change what he said to be Krishna conscious or not to be Krishna conscious. That is the question. We're going to correct Shakespeare, because he's not an acharya, he's just a good poet. But we just heard a fantastic poet named Jayadev Goswami. So his poetry is about Krishna, and Shakespeare's poetry is about mundane situations in life. So there's a difference. So, apichet asipapebhya, even if you're the worst sinner in this world, if you accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and accept Krishna's instructions on how to live this life, you will be liberated from the cycle of birth and death. This is Bhagavad Gita's message. Okay, now, how do we become liberated? We have to transform this original envy of Krishna into love for Krishna. You see, everyone in this material world is envious. We're hearing all the time the politicians are envious of each other, and different races are envious of each other, and family members become envious of each other and start fighting, and neighbors become envious of each other, and businessmen are envious. Do you think Microsoft likes Google or Yahoo or Facebook or Twitter? No way. If they could knock them out, they would. And the others are trying to knock out Microsoft. So there's this envy, this vicious competition is going on at every level. Right? If you look in nature, the snake sneaks up on the little mouse and eats them. That's enviousness. That's like horror, right? But in the same way, people convince you, don't cook with ghee, cook with dalda. Well, wait a minute. If you cook with dalda, you'll get high blood pressure, you'll get cardiac problems, you'll get old quick, your arteries will get hard, and so forth. So what does that mean? That means that just because they want to make money selling dalda, they give you false information about it. See? And instead of eating ghee, which has been used since time immemorial, which is glorified in the Vedas, they're trying to convince you to eat some junk food so you die faster. See? And the pharmaceutical companies, they don't tell you, oh, you should just take some triphala and change your lifestyle, go to sleep early, wake up early, chant Hare Krishna, you'll be all right. They say, no, you have to take this medicine. It costs $20 a pill, although it only costs 20 cents a pill to make it, right? And they say, well, it's FDA approved. That doesn't mean anything. Many things have been FDA approved that have killed people in the past or made them extremely sick, you see. So the whole thing is just like, it's like the, what's the name of that new jet? The Max, right? The Boeing jet. What's the name of it?
Yes, 737 Max.
737 Max, right? Now they have emails of executives and engineers in Boeing making fun of the FDA, seeing how stupid they are and how they can trick them easily. Did you know that? You know what's going to happen to Boeing? They could go bankrupt because of this. They were actually making fun of the FDA. What is it? Yeah. FAA. I'm sorry. The FAA. Because the FAA basically gives them carte blanche or a free hand to test their own planes and not be surveilled by or not be checked by the FAA. So and now the government is extremely upset by this. So this is false ego. This is thinking, oh, I have become invincible. Oh, my company will never come under scrutiny anymore because we're smarter than the inspectors, etc. So all these things is coming from the same concept of envy and false ego and the desire to dominate and exploit. So it says, apichet asipapebhya sarvebhya papakrit tama sarvam glana plavenaiva vrijinam santarishyasi. Even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. Now, what is the boat of transcendental knowledge? Knowledge has never been, normally you don't compare knowledge to a boat, right? So this is called a metaphor in English. It's different than a simile. A simile, you would always say, something is like something. But here, it's actually changing the concept of knowledge to a boat. It's not comparing it. It's saying it's the boat of transcendental knowledge. So this is a metaphor in English. Now, this is a very important metaphor. What does it mean, the boat of transcendental knowledge? Well, if there's a boat, there must be a body of water. And what is that body of water? It's called the Samsara Sagar, or the Dukh Sagar, the ocean of misery, or the ocean of repeated birth and death. Now, in the ocean, you could be the best swimmer in the world. You still, if you're in the middle of the ocean, you're not going to be safe, right? So this gives us the image of what our position is. Our position in this world is we are swimming in an ocean of misery, and nothing can save us except if someone comes with a boat and lifts us out of the water. And what is that boat? That boat is transcendental knowledge, which can only be given by a genuine devotee of Krishna. It cannot be given by a scientist or a philosopher or your next door neighbor or some business like Twitter or whatever. It can only be given by a genuine devotee of the Lord. Because Krishna says, for example, that Naham Tistami Vaikunte Yoginam Hridaye Suva Yatra Gayanti Madbhavam Yatra Tistami Narada. He's speaking to Narada and says, he tells Narada, hey Narada, Naham Tistami Vaikunta. I'm not in Vaikunta. Naham, nor am I in the hearts of the yogis. Yoginam Hridaye Suva. I'm not in the heart of the yogis. Yogis are always meditating, but he says, I'm not in their heart. And I'm not even in Vaikuntha, he says. Yatra Gayanti Madbhavam. But when my devotees are chanting Hare Krishna, Yatra Tistami Narada. That's where I am. So this chanting of the name of Krishna is a special thing. Of course, some idiots say, oh, it's not the chanting that counts, it's the breathing. Like that. So you can chant Coca-Cola also. Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola. That'll do the same thing as chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. That's a bunch of nonsense again. You can chant Coca-Cola all you want. You will never taste Coca-Cola. But you chant Hare Krishna, you'll see Krishna. Even in this lifetime. And because you are coming to the temple, what do we do when you come to the temple? You chant Hare Krishna. You bow down to Krishna and you see Krishna. The deity of Krishna is not different than Krishna himself, because the deity is made according to the description of Krishna's form in the Vedic literature. It's not in the Quran, it's not in the Torah, it's not in the New Testament of the Bible, the Old Testament of the Bible. It's only in the Vedic literatures, like the Vishnu Purana, like the Srimad Bhagavatam, like Bhagavad Gita. There's actually, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there's elaborate description of Krishna's transcendental form. So this knowledge has been preserved in the Vedas. And the Jewish writings and the Christian writings and the Islamic writings and Buddhist writings, they don't have this knowledge. They don't have any description of the form of God. In fact, some of them believe that God doesn't have a form. See, if you read the greatest scholars in Islam, like El-Ghazali, when you read him, he doesn't say God has a form. He said God is impersonal, right? And if you read some Christian writers, also they say Jesus has a form, but God is something that is formless. And you read the Jewish philosophers also. So this knowledge is only in the Vedas. It's nowhere else. The form of God, what the spiritual world is like, how you can become free of the entanglement in the material world and go back to Godhead. Now I'll give you two examples why I say this. Like, for example, when a Hindu dies, what do? They burn the body. When a Christian, Muslim, or Jew dies, what do? They preserve the body. They try and preserve it by putting it in a casket and burying it, right? Why do they do that? Why do the Hindus burn the body and the Christians, Jews, and Muslims try and protect the body? If you go and break into a cemetery, into a burial ground, it's a crime in all Jewish, Muslim, and Christian countries. It's a crime. They will prosecute you. And why do they do that? Because they do not have clear understanding of the soul. They attribute the body or birth of a person as the beginning of their soul. And that is completely different than the Vedic philosophy. And they think also that you need to have at least some part of your body to be resurrected when Jesus or the Messiah comes at the end of time. So they have definite bodily concept of the soul. But that concept is not there in the Vedic tradition. The soul is different than the body. In fact, we're changing our body all the time. Would anyone say that I was not that little sperm that looks like, that has the body of a fish, that came from my father to my mother's womb and connected with the ovum? I'm not that little sperm. Would you say that, probably? You know that sperm is microscopic. You know that. You need a microscope. Would you deny that that was you? Exactly right. That was your first body in this lifetime. You had different bodies in other lifetimes. But it all starts microscopically. Well, what do the Vedas say? The Vedas say that the soul is 1/10,000th the tip of a hair. Now, is it hard to believe that? Once you think about life, you started, or I started, like a little sperm that you need a microscope to see. That was me. That was you at one time. And as soon as it connected with this nutrient oval thing in your mother's womb called the ovum provides the nutrition for that little sperm to grow into a person. And then your body begins to form. At first you have the body of a pea, a little round ball with 9 holes in it. And then those 9 holes develop into 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, a mouth, a genital, and an anus. And you get a neck and a head and arms and legs. And you can see, if you do an MRI or something, you'll see that that little ovum develops into that pea, and the pea develops into this little embryo like that. And it's starting to have a head and legs and arms, right? And then it keeps growing, and eventually it comes up to about this size, and it's pushed out. Would you deny this? You can't deny it. It's fact, science. That science is taught in the Vedas. Okay. And then once you're pushed out, you continue to grow. And at a certain point in midlife, you begin to dwindle. So, therefore, Bhagavad Gita says, Dehinosmin yata dehe ko maran yomaram jara. Tata dehantara praptirdiras tatra namuyanti. And this is a Bhagavad Gita 2nd chapter, 12th verse, says, as the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. So, this is science. This is not so-called religion. Bhagavad Gita is a science. Would anyone deny that this is happening to us? No. This is written, this was spoken 120 million years ago by Krishna to Surya, or Vivaswan, the sun god. And then Surya spoke to Manu. Then Manu spoke to Ikshvaku, the first king in the solar dynasty on the earth, 2,005,000 years ago. And then 5,000 years ago, Krishna spoke the same Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. This is not a book that's a few thousand years old, like the Bible or the Torah, or maybe 1,500 years old, like the Quran. This is a book that was first spoken 120 million years ago. There's no book like this in the world. There's no other book like this. And we're lucky enough to have it today, because it's been kept intact through the parampara, through the disciplic succession of the Vaishnavas. See? And it's science. This is not, in fact, I've just written this is called Integrated Material and Spiritual Education, a new way to educate our kids. We begin with a verse from the Bhagavad Gita. Like, for example, it says in Bhagavad Gita, it says, Punya Ganda Prativyam Cha, Tejas Chasmi Vibhavaso, Jivanam Sarvabhutesu Tapas Chasmi Tapasvisu. You have 4 lines. This is called Anustup in Sanskrit. 4 lines of, actually, it's rhyming, 4 lines of poetry. But this is science. It's not poetry. It's science. What does it say? Punya Ganda Prativyam Cha. I am, Krishna says, the original fragrance of the earth. So now, in integrated material and spiritual education, we start with the spiritual. We start with 1 line of 1 verse of the Bhagavad Gita. Punya Ganda Prativyam Cha. And then we begin to explain this punya, or this ganda, this fragrance. What is it? Punya means original, and ganda means fragrance. What is the original fragrance of the earth? It's related to what's called aromatic hydrocarbons. If you have any chemistry experience. What is an aromatic hydrocarbon? It is made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. And when you have 10 carbons, 18 hydrogens, and 1 oxygen, you have the formula for at least 13 types of aromatic hydrocarbons. Those 13 types include lavender, lemongrass, carnation, etc. They all have the same chemical, let's say, formula, but they have different chemical structures. Therefore, they differ in fragrance, although they have the same. Now, I'm just giving you the beginning of the study of aromatic hydrocarbons, you see. So kids, this is the way kids should be educated. They should see how everything begins from Krishna and expands into science, because there's science behind all of this. So that's, and then we also explain who are real scientists and who are phony scientists. A real scientist is Jagadish Chandra Bose. Jagadish Chandra Bose proved that plants have the same nervous system and response to external stimuli as human beings. And today, what he did over 100 years ago is continued by other scientists today. And we chronicle it. There's a scientist named Richard Carbon, and there's another scientist named Martin Hale. Both of them have proven that these aromatic hydrocarbons and different varieties of them produced by this one same plant, in the flower, in the leaf, in the branch, and in the root, can communicate with other plants, can attract pollinators, can expel or repel pests and predators, and can fight attacks in the roots or in the flowers or in the leaves with different variations of the original aromatic hydrocarbons, C10, H18, O1, you see. Now, here we have this is a picture of a plant, and it shows all the different hydrocarbons that are produced in the same plant. To communicate with other plants, plants communicate. When there are predators, the plant puts out a certain hydrocarbon that the other plant perceives and understands that they have to prepare themselves for being attacked by predators. All this has been scientifically proven by Carbon and Heil and other scientists who are continuing the work of Jagadish Chandra Bose. You should be proud that such people are born in India. In fact, there's 3 famous Boses. They're all Bengalis, and they're all brilliant. There's Jagadish Chandra Bose, who is the father of electromagnetism, of the cell phone, the telephone, the television, and the internet. He's the father, because he demonstrated in 1899 how you can change static energy, static electricity, and pinpoint it and direct it and to move from one point to another in a very mysterious way. He did this in the Royal Academy of Science in Britain, in the British Empire, in 1899 in the Royal Academy of Science, right? And people thought he was a magician. He sent an electromagnetic wave from one side of the room to the other side of the room and set something on fire. They thought he was like a magician, right? No, he understood what great mathematicians and scientists before him, Maxwell and others, they theorized that there's such a thing as electromagnetic waves. You can't see them, but yet they can carry information. So that's what a cell phone is. Do you see the waves going through the? No. Do you see the, Larry King on the news coming to your cell phone? No, you don't see it. But yet, that's the way it's transmitted. And Bose was the first one who demonstrated it. You see, he didn't get the credit for it because he was a colonized Indian. The Europeans got the credit for it. But he was actually the first who demonstrated it to the Europeans, you see. So we teach all these things. This is real science. Then we show them what a plant actually can do. The plant has the same nervous system as a human being, and it reacts in the same way. If you bombard a plant with heavy metal music, it actually hurts the plant. It has a reaction. And if you bombard the plant with Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, it also reacts in a positive way. And if you bombard the plant with Hare Krishna Mahan Mantra, it thanks you. It says Dandavat. I'm not kidding you. I am not kidding you. There's a scientist in Japan named Mr. Emoto who has proven this. He didn't use the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, but he used Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, and he used heavy metal music. And he proved that the reaction of the plant to heavy metal music is erratic. And the reaction of the plant to Beethoven's Fifth Symphony is very uniform and very peaceful. So, wake up. Everything is living in the material world. Even the dead things, seemingly dead things like metals and rocks, some of them are living also. Bose did not stop with plants. He went to metals and he went to inanimate objects, and he proved that some of them are also conscious like plants. Now, is there any science beyond this? Yes, there is. Because one, anything that's living has a soul. It could be a rock. There are certain rocks that get bigger. In India, such rocks are worshipped. There are there are mountains. Mountains get bigger and they get smaller. Mountains are living things. There are hurricanes. They say Hurricane Andrew, Hurricane Mina. You know, they are actually persons. They grow and they recede. Right? Anything that grows is a living thing. Now, there are other things like metals. You don't see them growing, but they're moving. They're definitely moving. Like, for example, if you burn a pot and you scrub it with a metal pad, the stain will go away. But some of the metal went away with it also. That's how those stains go away. You're actually scraping away some of the metal, right? It still looks the same, but actually you've changed it somewhat. So anything that increases or decreases is a living thing. And therefore, Bose proved that by experimenting with metals and with rocks and other things. All right, so now, why do the metals move? Why do the rocks move? Because Paramatma is present. Krishna is present in every atom of the universe, as well as in the heart of every living being. So in your body right now, there are two souls, Paramatma and your individual soul. And Paramatma is waiting for you to notice his presence. But we're so enamored with cars, stock options, money, pornography, properties. And we can go down the list. It's a big, big list of things that take our attention away from the fact that God is right in our heart, sitting in our heart, right next to us. So unless we understand from the Vedas, we don't really understand who we are and what life is all about. And what is the purpose of life? The purpose of life on this earth, and especially when you have a human body, is to self-realize. Understand that God is in your heart as Paramatma. Understand that you're not this body. You have an eternal soul. Understand that birth, death, old age, and disease is a foreign thing to your soul. It does not actually affect your soul. It only affects the body. But as long as we identify with the body, we get affected. How do we identify with the body? It's through the false ego. How does the false ego develop? It develops by bad association and junk knowledge. And how do we get out of bad association and junk knowledge? You associate with genuine devotees and Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, which is described here as the boat of transcendental knowledge. So this verse explains that even if you're the worst person the most sinful person, if you come in contact with transcendental knowledge, you can be purified. So the whole spiritual process is for purification. Just like you buy fruits and nuts and vegetables in the Safeway. They're all contaminated in some way or other. Before you, someone could have been handling the apple that you chose, and maybe they didn't wash their hands after they went to the toilet. And they came out and started looking at this apple and they decided not to buy it. And then you come later on, you don't know who was there before. You're not looking at the CCTV to see who handled that apple before you. And then you say, oh, this looks good. You take it home. Well, that person's feces is on your apple. And if you don't wash the apple carefully, you're going to be eating somebody else's feces. So everything in the material world is contaminated. But if we take something that's contaminated and wash it and prepare it for Krishna and offer it to Krishna, it becomes purified, you see. Now, what was contaminated has now become purified by the mercy of the Lord. How do we know that? We know that Hiranyakashipu purposely put poison in Prahlad Maharaj's food. And because Prahlad Maharaj is a devotee, even though he's a 5-year-old boy, he was a devotee. He was born a devotee. Why was he born a devotee? Because his mother was saved from being killed by the Devas when she was pregnant. She was taken to Narada Muni's ashram in the mountains of India, and he instructed her in Atma Tattva, knowledge of the soul. And while he was instructing her, the baby in the womb of the mother of Prahlad Maharaj's mother, Prahlad Maharaj also heard Narada Muni and was also educated in the womb. There is such a thing as prenatal consciousness. This is all science, but Vedic science. Of course, all the abortionists say, oh, no, that's not possible. The baby's not conscious in the womb. Well, how do they know? They don't know anything. All they know is how to kill. They don't know how to give life. They don't know how to give the boat of transcendental knowledge. They give the boat of crap. That's their boat. But we are giving, or Krishna is giving, the boat of transcendental knowledge. So, we know that Prahlad Maharaj always offered his food to Krishna before he ate it. So when Prahlad's mother gave him this plate, he said, my dear Prahlad, please eat this nice food. Prahlad said, he was thinking, but everything should be offered to Krishna first. So he offered it mentally, just like you might be on a luncheon meeting with your team leader and your team workers, right? And they're serving you some food, right? You say, oh, I'm a vegetarian. They say, okay, we have a vegetarian offer. And they bring you food that was cooked in the same pots that they cook meat in, right? One time I went to a restaurant in France before I was a devotee. It was a couscous restaurant. You know what couscous is? Yeah. So it's a type of wheat thing. It's something like dahlia, but it's not exactly dahlia. So it was a Moroccan restaurant, and the waiter came up and said, "Qu'est-ce que tu veux? What do you want?" So my friend, who was not a devotee, also, he said he wanted couscous with meat. And he said, okay, he wrote it down. I said, what do you want? He said, I'll take couscous, but only couscous. I don't want any meat. I'm a vegetarian. Oh, no problem. Y a pas de problème. Nous avons ce que vous voulez. No problem. We have what you want. Right? So later on, they brought the two dishes, right? And they gave one to my friend and gave one to me. And I looked at it, and I looked at his, and I smelled mine, and I smelled his, and I said, is this vegetarian? He said, yeah. Oui, c'est végétarien, oui. He said, oui, about 10 times. Oui means yes in French. So I said, but it smells the same as that, the other one that has meat in it. He said, no, c'est pas vrai, c'est végétarien, it's vegetarian. I said, but how did you cook it? He said, we cook it the same, but we took the pieces of meat out. That's why it's vegetarian. Now, is that vegetarian? You see, this is the world that we're living in, right? It's a world of misconception. And if we become misconceived also in our mind, we'll make major mistakes thinking we're doing the right thing. That's why bad things happen to good people. It happens to good people out of ignorance. Just like when Prabhupada or Gurudev was a young boy in Calcutta, he got very sick. And his father took him to the doctor in Calcutta, Hindu doctor, Bengali doctor. And the doctor said, you got to feed him chicken soup. How do you say soup in Hindi? Soup? Dal? He said, murgi dal. Murli what? Murgi pani. Yeah. He said, murgi pani. Jo kao murgi pani hai. So, Prabhupada went home and he told his wife. And the wife said, okay, I'll go buy some chicken. He said, no, you're not going to buy any chicken. We're not going to feed our kid murgi pani. So our boy is a devotee. He doesn't, the wife was insisting, no, you're going to kill the boy. He said, I don't care. Let him die. But we're not giving him murgi pani. Well, Prabhupada didn't die. You see. So this misinformation, it's not only in the United States, it's in India. In fact, it's worse in India. Why is it worse? Because Indians have a greater responsibility, because it's the land where Lord Rama put his footprints. It's the land where Krishna put his footprints. It's the land where all the great alvars put their footprints. It's the land where all the great acharyas put their footprints. See? And everywhere, all of India, those footprints are there. In Maharashtra, you have Tukaram, right? In Assam, you have Sankardev. In Bengal, you have Narottam Das Thakura. And you have the Alvars in Tamil Nadu. And you have Annamacharya and Tyagarajan in Andhra. And every part of India has their great saints. And also Krishna's pastimes. Lord Rama went all over India. Krishna also went all over India. So it's a holy land. So for people born in India who ignore the Vedic knowledge, who do not take an opportunity to avail themselves of this boat of transcendental knowledge called Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, shame on you. Shame on you that you don't take advantage of this great tradition, the greatest tradition of knowledge in the whole universe. And this new curriculum that we're writing is an example of how great this Vedic knowledge is. So, if you want your kids to learn real science, you send them to my class every Saturday morning and Sunday morning, and they'll learn real science in the proper way, based on Vedic Shruti expanded into modern science. Okay, so now, even if you're the worst person, the most sinful person, if you accept this boat of transcendental knowledge, you will cross over the ocean called Dukkha Sagar, or Samsara Sagar, very easily and happily, simply by chanting, dancing, and feasting. You don't have to do any pranayama. You don't have to twist your body into a pretzel. You don't have to learn Sanskrit. You don't have to live in a cave in the Himalayas. You come to the Hare Krishna temple in Sammamish and you go back to Godhead very easily. Chanting, dancing, and feasting. That's our yoga. We chant Hare Krishna, we dance for Krishna, and we feast on prasadam, and we listen to Bhagavad Gita, Grantaraj Ki Jai. Say, Hare Krishna. So are there any questions? You should come and take a look at this. This is a new curriculum. Yes?
In our area, only bodies will be buried only. We are all only Hindus, and the generation after generation is only buried.
That's not true. You live in an area that deviated.
No, we are hundreds of kilometers that the area.
No.
I think it is only certain people in the cities, they do, in our place, burning is only committed suicide. And normally that it is.
Okay, we will double check what you're saying. Next week I'll have the answer to your question. Tell me what your area. You're talking about Tamil Nadu. You're talking about Tamil Nadu. Okay, we'll find out probably. But thank you for that comment. Thank you. By the way, you know that Tamil Nadu is overwhelmed with Christianity. Do you know that? No? You know, the Christians have been in Tamil Nadu since the time of Jesus. One of Jesus' apostles, Thomas, came to Madras or Chennai in the first century. So you guys have been, contaminated with that burning the body and so forth. Not burning the body, with the preserving the body. Are there cemeteries in your village? Oh, they compost the body. That's called composting. They bury the body in the backyard. Yeah, that's all right. That's good fertilizer.
But you cannot use it. It is a tradition. The tradition is to really bury it.
I'm going to find out, Prabhu. Okay, so any other questions besides that question? All right, thank you very much. Then we'll have our Arti. Haribol. All glories to Prabhupada. Anyone wants to see this new way of teaching kids? Take a look at it. This is only our first monogram. There are going to be many more coming. I want to say that I want to thank the sponsors today, Mira Mehta and Miraya and Dia and Uma. The two different families are sponsoring our feast today. And we have Sankranti and Pongal coming up January 14th at 7 p.m. in the temple. January 14th, is that a Saturday? What is January 14th? It's a Tuesday, okay. So Sankranti is a very auspicious time. We also will have Shrad ceremony performed at that time. The two most prominent or most, let's say, auspicious days for performing Shrad for your ancestors. One is on Sankranti and the other is the Shrad period in September, October. And every Saturday we have Nagar Sankirtan. We want to have 200 people coming out from now on. So please sign up to come out on our chanting Hare Krishna in the streets of Seattle. We give out prasadam. We give out free prasadam, free flowers, free incense, and books. Some of them are free also. To spread the message of Krishna consciousness all over the Seattle area. Every Saturday we go out at 1 o'clock and we come back around 4:30. And also you can come and help us in our food truck that goes out every Saturday at 5:30 at the University Heights Community Center, 50th and University Way in the U District. And we get up to 300 people that come, and they appreciate very much the hot prasad. And the next major festival is February the 6th, Nityananda Trayodasi. And on the 21st of March is our Holy Festival in Marymore Park, and so forth. So thank you very much. And now we'll have Arti. Hare Krishna. Give me that yellow sheet. Jaya Jaya Gaura Chante Arati Ke Sobha. Jana vitatavane Jagamana loba Gorangera rotik soba Jagajana manaloba Gorangera rotik soba Jagajana manaloba Jagajana manaloba Jagajana manaloba Kibadaki nitaya chan Panmin gadadara Nikate Advaita Shini Vasachatradara Shvigaboshi Achingoracha Ratna Singhasane Arati Korena Brahma Adideva Gane Arati Kibaboshi Kibanara Hari Adikari Chamaradu Laya Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Gosa Adigaya Sanjay Shiga Shankar Bhaje Ganta Bhaje Bhaje Karatala Madhura Midanga Bhaje Madhura Magam Paramarasala Madhura Midanga Bhaje Paramarasala Madhura Bolo Shankar Bhaje Ganta Bhaje Madhur 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 Bhaje Shanka baje, Ganta baje, Madur, Madur, Madur baje. Madur, Madur, Madur baje. Madur, Madur, Madur baje. Ki baba ho koti chandra jini vadana ujvala. Gala de sevana mala, kore jala mala gala. Kiba Shiva, Shiva Shiva Sukha Narada Preme Gada Gada. Bhakati Vinoda Deke Gorara Sampada Gakan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Bolo, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Tagora Haribol, 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 Gora Haribol, 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 Gora Haribol, Nitagor Haribo, 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 hey, Haribo, 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 bolo Haribo, Haribo, bolo Haribo, 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 hey, Haribo, 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 Haribo. Oh, Haribo, Haribo, Gaur Haribo, 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 Gaur Haribo, 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 Gaur Haribo, Haribo. Ita Gaur Haribo, 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 Ita Gaur Haribo, 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 Ita Gaur, Ita Gaur Haribo, 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 Gaur Haribo, Ita Gaur Haribo, 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 Ita Gaur. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavane ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Lord Premanande Hari Bol. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parvaj ki Chasti Saraswati Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnava ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Prema Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Samakunda Radha Kunti Giri Govardhan ki jai, Sri Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Sri Mayapura Dham ki jai, Sri Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai, Sri Tulasi Devi ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Gangamaya ki jai, Jamunmaya ki jai, Samavela Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the Son of the Gods, all glories to the Son of the Gods, all glories to the Son of the Gods, glories to Shri Guru and Shri Guranga, glories to Srila Prabhupada, Patita Pavan ki jai. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami. Namaste Saraswati Devi Guru Manujari Nirvisesa Sujivari Paskatya Desatarine Haribo Haribo. Prabhuji ki jai. Simhaya Pradhadanayine Hiranyakashipurvatsaha Shilajanganakalaye Oh Shilajanganakalaye Ito Narsingha Parato Narsingha Narsingha Parato Narsingha Yedo Yedo Yami Dado Narsingha Yedo Yedo Yami Dado Narsingha Narsingha Hrudaye Narsingha Narasimha Mate Sharanam Prapate
तव कर कमल बले नखा अद्भुत दलितं हिरण्यकशिपु तनवृन्दं केशवधृत नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवधृता जय Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Oh Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Oh Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol
Jai Bhakti Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai Gaur Premanandi Hari Bol. So thank you very much. Today we had the Goda Kalyam, Goda Devi or Andava, is the only female Alvar or prominent Acharya in the Shiva Vaishnava tradition. And she was, right from a very youngest age, a great devotee of Ranganath, or the deity that was given to Vibhishan. Vibhishan refused to leave Ayodhya because he didn't want to be separated from Lord Rama. So Lord Rama gave him his personal deity, Ranganath. And he said, now you will always be with me. You take this deity and return to Lanka. So, the question is the deity Ranganath a deity of Lord Ramachandra? Or is it a Vishnu deity? Well, if you know the history of Lord Ramachandra, he is the incarnation of Lord Narayana or Vishnu. So it's not different than him. You see. And who is Lord Rama? He's a plenary expansion of Lord Krishna. It's not different than Krishna also. Rama and Krishna are the same person. They're just appearing in different pastimes. Now, Krishna has the ability of expanding himself, absolutely. So the first expansion of Lord Krishna is Lord Balaram. And then from Balaram expands the first Chaturvyuha. Sankarsan, Pradumna, Vasudeva, Sankarsan, Pradumna, Aniruddha. These are Narayana forms. And from them comes the original Narayana. From him comes the second Chaturvyuha, from which comes the Vishnu forms, which are also not different than Narayana. And they appear in the material world for the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the material world. So we see there's this progressive expansion of Lord Krishna. Now we're all expanded from Lord Krishna, but we're not on the same level as the Vishnu Tattva. We are Jiva Tattva, individual minute souls. The Vishnu Tattvas are all non-different than Krishna in potency. They might have certain physical traits of their bodies that are different, but it's the same person who's expanding. The demigods are Jiva Tattvas also. They're not on the same level as Vishnu Tattvas. But they are very powerful living entities who have achieved close to the full maximum achievement of a Jiva, which would be up to 78% of Lord Krishna's qualities. Lord Brahma is the most perfect Jiva in the material world, therefore he's given the possibility of managing the whole material creation. He's the secondary creator. Krishna is the primary creator, he's the secondary creator. He receives all the materials. Bhumir apo nalo vayukam mano buddhirir vicha hankarayati amebhim bhaktirasata. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence. And he's able to populate the universe with living entities. He's able to expand these elements from the subtle to the gross and make bodies, different, all the 8,400,000 different species. So he's a great creator also, but he's a secondary creator. He doesn't have the same power as Krishna to be the primary creator, but he receives the knowledge of how to expand the material creation from the Mahatattva, or the whole material energy, and make it into forms. And then Krishna impregnates the souls that go into the different 8,400,000 species with Brahma's help, and all of a sudden you have a material creation. So this is all explained in the Vedic scriptures. It's the process of material creation. The spiritual doesn't need to be created, it's eternally existing. We're part of that spiritual world, but we revolted against Krishna. So we're given a chance to come back to Krishna. He gives the Vedic scriptures. he incarnates himself and he sends other incarnations and he empowers certain living entities to become acharyas, all to help us wake up and realize that the purpose of the material creation is to give us a chance to come back to Krishna, to correct ourselves, to purify ourselves, and come back to Krishna, where we actually belong, to the spiritual world. So this is all explained in the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam. We're not meant to stay in the material world continually going up and down the cycle of birth and death. That is not who we are. We are eternally liberated souls that have become confused, and because of that, we have a body that's made of matter, which is different than our spiritual body. It's covering our spiritual body, but the spiritual body can become active by engaging the material body in the service of Krishna. And you can purify the material body just like you can purify food, as we explained before, and transform it into prasadam by the offering to Krishna. So we're meant to engage in yajnas, offerings, always, sacrificial offerings. And the greatest yajna is Harinam Sankirtan, chanting the holy names of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It is the only yajna or sacrificial performance that can be successful in Kali Yuga. All the other yajnas are not able to be properly performed in this age because Brahmins have, in a sense, fallen down. Therefore, today you have so many Brahmins that working in Microsoft, working this company, that company. That means they're not really Brahmins. You cannot be a Brahmin if you're working. Your work, the Brahmin work, is to study the scriptures and teach people the scriptures, teach people how to do pujas, teach people how to perform yajnas. That is real Brahmin. Brahmin is not working 8 hours and doing ceremonies. That's unfortunately. But anyway, that's Kali Yuga. But everybody can become perfect in Kali Yuga by chanting the holy names of Krishna and engaging in devotional service. But this is what Ramanujacharya taught. He taught chanting the names of Krishna, Vishnu Sahasranam Sutram, and engaging in deity worship and practicing devotion to Lord Ranganath or Lord Rama or Padmanabham or Kanchipura, how was it? Yeah, Varadaraj. So this is what he was teaching, and Vaishnavacharyas teach the same thing. That one must dedicate their life to Krishna through devotional service, through bhakti. That is our real activity. That's who we really are. And unless we come to that position, we'll just continue in the cycle of samsara, birth and death, old age and disease, which are unnecessary. They're completely unnecessary, these things. It's only because of being attached to material things that we're forced to go through those cycles. In nature, there are cycles. The cycles were created by Krishna. So human beings go through cycles also. Birth, death, old age, and disease. Nature has the carbon cycle, it has the nitrogen cycle, it has the phosphorus cycle, it has the water cycle. These are all natural cycles that renew nature. And this birth, death, old age, and disease is a cycle that we're forced to go through as long as we don't perform our real dharma, our real activity in life. And that real activity, or Sanatana Dharma, is Bhakti Yoga, pure love and devotion for Krishna. Until we realize these things, we remain confused and we do so many things and it all ends up zero. At the end of all these different activities we did, we have to take birth again and start all over. Does that make sense? No. It's stupid. It's a tragedy. So, if we understand that the real purpose of human life is self-realization, to understand, what does that mean? It means we understand four things. One, I am not this body. That's not who I am. Two, I am the soul that is animating the body with consciousness. Three, Krishna is also present in my body as super soul, and there's a relationship between myself and super soul. And four, the whole material creation, all the individual souls like you and me, the super soul also are coming from Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna. That is called self-realization, those four understandings. And when we come to that understanding, then we realize our real activity in life is devotional service. And that devotional service you can do at home. And you can also come to the temple and do it. So that your temple, your home should also be a temple. If you install Krishna there, and you offer your food, and you understand that not only Krishna is in your heart, he's also in the heart of all living entities, and also present in every atom of the creation. So that means you have developed this universal vision of Krishna. You'll never be separated from Krishna. At least you have a theoretical understanding, and if you practice Bhakti Yoga, you become completely purified, and you actually see Krishna in the heart of every living entity, in your own heart, in every atom of the universe. Then you realize Krishna is surrounding you and is within you. And therefore you belong to Krishna, because the material energy is also coming from Krishna. Or everything you see made of matter, trees and birds and buildings, it's all made out of Krishna's energy. So Krishna is all around us, but because of false education, because of misleading theories, people don't see Krishna. They don't understand. Krishna is everywhere. They don't understand that. Therefore, they only see trees, they only see birds, they only see concrete. When they look at the deity, they just see a statue, they don't see Krishna. That's the tragedy. Therefore, in Sanskrit, the word for philosophy is darshan, how to see properly. You see properly by learning this Vedic knowledge from proper authorities. Proper authorities are our acharyas. If you learn the Vedas properly, not in a junk way with pseudo so-called philosophers or pseudo-pundits that are misleading, you have the goal of all knowledge is to understand Krishna. And they say, oh, the ultimate goal is some light or energy. So that's misleading people. The ultimate goal is to have a loving relationship with a person called Krishna, the supreme object of worship. And that same Krishna is in the heart of every living entity. So now, when you see Krishna's presence in the heart of every living entity, including yourself, then you get that love expands naturally. You don't see a body. One body is black, one body is white, one body is yellow, one body is whatever. That you don't see that. You see that God is present in the heart of everyone. Therefore, that universal realization of God's presence makes a person a real human being who has a great destiny. The destiny is to always see the presence of Krishna and to remember Krishna at the moment of death and go back to Godhead. See? It's a very nice process, very nice philosophy. If we cannot adjust ourselves to this philosophy, that means that we have committed so many sins in previous lives and in this life that we're cursed by Yamaraj to only see material things and not develop the spiritual vision. But we can become free of that curse if we do what Arjuna did. He surrendered to Krishna and accepted to ask Krishna significant questions to clear away his doubts and listen carefully to his explanations, and then became convinced and full of faith and determination to only follow the instructions of Krishna. And this is said in the Bhagavad Gita, the 18th chapter. where Arjuna says, in the 72nd verse, 73rd verse. So he says, previous to that, Krishna says, Shadavam anasuyascha shinuyat abiyo nara subin mukta subalokan prapnuyat punyakarmanam. And one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reactions and attains to the auspicious planets where the pious dwell. So, this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is transmitted by Krishna to his devotee who listens with faith and without envy. If you listen with faith and without envy, this message of Bhagavad Gita, you become free from sinful reactions. In other words, all your previous karmas are eradicated, and you attain the auspicious planets where the pious dwell. That means you go back to Godhead. And then it says, Kaschit etas chutam parta tvad yaikadrena chetasa kaschit agyana samoha pranastas te dhananjaya. O son of Prita, Dhananjaya, or Arjuna, O conqueror of wealth, Dhananjaya, Krishna, Arjuna, have you heard this with an attentive mind, and are your ignorance and illusions now dispelled? So Krishna is saying, have you heard this, Arjuna? And have you been attentive? Have you actually been listening with attention and without any envy? So, this is the way a person becomes liberated from the cycle of birth and death. They listen with an attentive mind to the message of Bhagavad Gita. The Lord was acting as the spiritual master of Arjuna. Therefore, it was his duty to inquire from Arjuna whether he understood the whole Bhagavad Gita in its proper perspective. If not, the Lord was ready to re-explain any point or the whole Bhagavad Gita if so required. Actually, anyone who hears Bhagavad Gita from a bona fide spiritual master like Krishna or his representative will find that all his ignorance is dispelled. Bhagavad Gita is not an ordinary book written by a poet or fiction writer. It is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Any person fortunate enough to hear these teachings from Krishna or from his bona fide spiritual representative is sure to become a liberated person and get out of the darkness of ignorance. And then Arjuna says now, in response, Nasta mahasmiti lakva tat prasadat mayushita stitosnikat sandeha karishya vachanam tava. He says, Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. So this is the key. All of us are living in illusion right now. We think I am this body. We think it's normal to get old, get sick, and die. We think that we have to make so much money to live in this life. None of these things are true. None of these things are true. Did your grandparents or great-grandparents gain as much money as you do? No, they hardly had any money. But yet, there's more than 1 million people in India. How did that happen? Right? It happened because when you live according to Krishna's instructions, Krishna supplies whatever you need. And he says that in Bhagavad Gita. In the 10th chapter, he repeats it also. He says it first in the 8th chapter, and then he repeats it in the 10th chapter, verse number 10 and 11. He says, Tesam ivanakam partam aham agyanamantama nasyamya abhavastu gyanadipina basvata. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. And Prabhupada explains in this verse, he says, due to the contamination of material associations through many, many millions of births, one's heart is always covered with the dust of materialism. But when one engages in devotional service and constantly chants Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, the dust quickly clears and one is elevated to the platform of pure knowledge. The ultimate goal, Vishnu, can be attained only by this chant and by devotional service, and not by mental speculation or argument. The pure devotee does not have to worry about material necessities of life. He or she need not be anxious, because when he or she removes the darkness from the heart, everything is provided automatically by the Supreme Lord, who is pleased by the loving devotional service of the devotee. This is the essence of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. By studying Bhagavad Gita, one can become a soul completely surrendered to the Supreme Lord and engage himself or herself in pure devotional service. As the Lord takes charge, one becomes completely free from all kinds of materialistic endeavors. So this is called the essence of Bhagavad Gita. So the whole purpose of human life is to become purified of all the misconceptions, of all previous sinful reactions, and then one with faith engages in the service of Krishna, is no longer afraid or in anxiety or fearful or in doubt. And then Krishna, as it says here, when he removes the darkness from the heart, everything is provided automatically by the Supreme Lord. This is something that most people say, I don't believe that. But no, it's true. And we have so many examples of it in India and even in the Western world. You have people who become ministers or priests, right? Do they have to worry about eating? Do they have to worry about a place to sleep? No, it's all provided, right? All they have to worry about is controlling their lust, anger, and greed. That's all they have to worry about. And but they can do that easily if they follow the rules and regulations of spiritual life. So in Islam, you have to pray 5-6 times a day. In Christianity, in monasteries, they pray 24 hours a day, right? Or at least 18 hours a day, right? And in Krishna consciousness, we pray 24 hours a day. We're always chanting Hare Krishna, or talking about Krishna, or reading about Krishna, or serving Krishna prasadam, or cooking Krishna prasadam. So 24 hours a day, our mind should be focused on Krishna. And even at work, we focus on the work so we can get paid to use the money in Krishna's service. And that's also meditating on Krishna. If your final goal in all your activities is to serve Krishna, then that's meditating on Krishna. But if you're thinking, I'm going to buy a new car with this money and show it off to my neighbors, that's not Krishna consciousness. So then that money is wasted on your false ego. But if you use the car to come regularly to the temple, to go out on Sankirtan, to spread the message of Krishna, then your car is also Krishna conscious. It's being used in the service of Krishna. So this is the secret. How to use everything properly in Krishna's service. And Srila Prabhupada says that also. He says that in the 4th chapter, look in the 7th chapter, 2nd verse, and he says, that sorry. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna, and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. This instruction to Arjuna is very important for all persons engaged in material activities. The Lord does not say that one should give up his prescribed duties or engagements, one can continue them and at the same time think of Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This will free one from material contamination and engage the mind and intelligence in Krishna. By chanting Krishna's names, one will be transferred to the supreme planet, Krishna Loka, without a doubt. So this verse, 8th chapter, verse 7, should be what we meditate on every day. This verse stresses that remembering Krishna is the purpose of our intelligence and our mind. And our memory of Krishna is revived by chanting the holy mantra, Hare Krishna. By this practice of chanting and hearing the sound vibration of the Supreme Lord's name in one's ear, with one's tongue, and in one's mind, in one's ear, one's tongue, and one's mind are engaged in Krishna conscious activity. This is a mystic meditation, and it's easy to practice. And it helps one attain the Supreme Lord. There you are. So, if we practice this throughout our life, then at the moment of death, we'll be easily able to remember Krishna. And you go back to God. This is the purpose of life. It's not to increase wealth, although wealth can be used in Krishna's service. All the great devotees, like Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, they're extremely wealthy. But they use their wealth in Krishna's service. They're much more wealthy than Jeff Bezos. He's like a mosquito compared to Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was at one time the leader of the whole world. He inherited his father's kingdom. Right? His father conquered the whole world, although he was a demon. But Nrsimhadev killed his father and gave everything to Prahlad Maharaj. So even though Prahlad Maharaj was born in a demoniac family, because he listened to Narada Muni while he was still in the womb of his mother, he became a devotee right from birth. See? So that's why the verse that I read in the 18th chapter, Krishna asked Arjuna, did you listen attentively? So that is what we have to do. One who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reactions and attains to the auspicious planets where the pious dwell. Okay, so now we know what the purpose of human life is. We know what the purpose of the material creation is. It's an opportunity for us to get out of this cycle of birth and death. And the way we do that is by developing self-realization. And those 4 steps, understanding that everything comes from Krishna, including your soul. That means your eternal relationship with Krishna is the most important relationship in your life. And you're not this body, you're the soul that animates the body with consciousness. And secondly, that Krishna is present in your heart in the same body that you're present in as Paramatma. So when you realize that, Jai Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai. When you realize that Krishna is your closest companion, and he is the source of intelligence and consciousness in the body. And then number 3, that this whole material nature is coming from Krishna. It's his own energy. And Paramatma is coming from Krishna. And your soul, the Jivatma, also comes from Krishna. And number 3, and then number 4 is that everything is coming from Krishna. The material world, Jivatma, Paramatma, and Krishna is the origin of it all. So that's called self-realization. Self-realization doesn't mean you are this body. That's not true. You're not the body. Self-realization means you are the soul animating the body with consciousness. And next to you is Paramatma. And Krishna is the origin of Paramatma, of your soul, and of the material creation. So if you understand that, you are self-realized. And then you realize that Your duty in life is to serve Krishna with love and devotion. Then you become perfect and you go back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita Granth Raj. And now you can sing for Krishna. He's here, he's right behind the curtains. He's hearing you. Yeah. Okay, well, please come, ladies. I'm sorry I spoke a little bit more. Here.